What's up, everybody? On the review garage table today, we are taking a look at the Olight Perun 3 Mini, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you why I think this might be the ultimate clip-on, easy-to-use, everyday light. So just a little background here on the Perun 3 Mini, why I purchased this light. I wanted a right angle light. First of all, I don't have a right angle light, so I wanted one. But what I really wanted was a light that had a headband that came with it, but that was also very easy to switch from the headband and then also just use as, kind of an everyday pocket light. And one of the big appeals to me with the Perun 3 Mini was just how easily it flops from the headband or clicks off from the headband and then just becomes a regular light. So that was kind of the big appeal for me. I have an AceBeam H16, which I reviewed recently, which is another, headband light in this class, in this kind of size. But with that one of the issues with that one was it didn't really come off the headband easily. So I wanted one that I could kind of have a little more versatility to switch back and forth. And that's where the Olight Perun 3 Mini came on my radar, I should say. So getting right into it here, obviously, when you purchase the Perun 3 Mini, you're going to have your light that comes with it. We have our headband here, and I'll demonstrate, how this attaches here shortly. But this is going to be our headband here. Really nice, breathable headband, as you can see, nice holes all throughout. Comfortable, wears pretty easily. I haven't had any issues with using the headband, and I have used it quite a bit. And then in our box, it's going to be our box here, Perun 3 Mini. Versatile dual light source right angle flashlight. A couple different models there. This is the cool white version. You see there are some other versions there. And then I'll go over what else is in. There's not much. I think they got a charger here. Get your charging cable. And then you, of course, have your owner's manual in here. That's all that came with this one. I don't know why I can't get that back in there. I have so many of these Olight cables laying around. I don't even take the charging cables out of the box. So that's what's in your Perun 3 Mini box. This does also come with the lifetime warranty, which is really nice. But let's go ahead and get right into what I love about the Perun 3 Mini. Starting off, we'll go right into the size. It's a very small light. Again, if you look at this, I'll put it in my palm here. I mean, it is extremely tiny. It's about the size of my pinky, literally the size of my pinky. And again, so you're getting right about 1250 lumens out of this and 155 meters of throw in a package that's the size of your pinky. I also have my Baton Turbo, just so you can kind of see the size comparison here. I mean, it's quite a bit smaller than the Baton Turbo. If you look here, I'll set these down. It is a very tiny light. If you have the Baton 4, I couldn't find my Baton 4. I've somehow misplaced it, but it's right about the exact same size as the Baton 4. And just to kind of give you a better look at the size, I have a AA battery in here. So let's see, kind of give it the old battery size comparison. I mean, it's literally just marginally bigger than a AA battery. So that kind of goes right into one of the things I really love about the Perun 3 Mini is with that small size, you're so easily, I can't emphasize this enough, you're so easily able to clip this light anywhere and you just kind of forget it's there. I mean, I literally can clip this on my, I'm just wearing, right now I'm just wearing a t-shirt. I can clip it on my t-shirt collar and just walk around my yard, walk around the backyard, go on walks around the neighborhood, and just have it literally just clipped onto my t-shirt collar, no problem. It'll just hang there. You kind of forget it's there. So you don't even need like a special, place to clip this onto. It's so small and light. You can literally just clip it on to a t-shirt collar, or if you have, like a t-shirt with a front pocket, you can clip it right on the pocket, and you're gonna forget it's there. And then, like I kind of touched on earlier, it's the other thing that really helps us stand out from some of the competition, just how easily you can clip this onto your headband here. So I can't actually see it around the camera. I promise it's easy though. There, so you clip it right in. Boom, you're clipped in. This easily slides up and down. No problem when you're wearing this. You can adjust this so easily right once it's in. Then you just have a little button here. You push and it's off. So just like that, you're going from headband, boom, clipped in, moving around, push a button, it's off. So, it literally takes a second to go from, a headband light to just a light you can use however you see fit. So with that is, some awesome versatility between the size and how easy we're able to get it, to and from this headband. Very, very versatile light. Now I do want to spend a little time going over our UI interface here. So everything is controlled from this top switch here, which again, this is nice because if it's on your, if you're wearing it on the head, included headband, really easy to hit this light here on the top. So everything's going to be controlled from this top button, and it is a very nice feeling button as well, a good premium quality, which is a theme through the whole light. In fact, let me go ahead and zoom in on this a little bit just so you can get a little better look at how nice this light is. Again, this button feels really nice here. You get your hard anodized aluminum frame all around, and again, I should have mentioned as well the magnetic tail. Again, this kind of adds to the versatility. So light, you can clip this on literally anything, stick this on anything with that magnetic tail, and you're good to go. But again, really nice quality all around there, which is pretty normal with Olight. But you'll see a really good looking light as well. But getting back to our UI overview here, so again, everything's controlled from this top switch. So I will go ahead and spend a little time just kind of showing you how this works. Let me get this stuff out of our way here. So to turn it on, obviously we just push our button. It looks like I'm probably in low there. So if we hold it, we'll go, so we have low, medium, high, and then we double click for turbo. So again, I'll turn it on here. Let's go on here. So we are in high. Oops, there we go. Hold it down. Low, medium, high, low, medium, high, and then double click for our turbo. Now, if we click this on in our low setting, that's going to be 15 lumens, and you're going to get 25 hours of runtime. If we go up to our medium setting, you are going to get 60 lumens and 6.5 hours of runtime. And if we hold that down to our high, that is going to be our 300 lumens and an hour and 40 minutes of runtime. And then, of course, on our turbo, we're going to be looking at our max 1250 lumens, and that's going to step down, I believe it's after about a minute and a half, to our 300 lumen output. So you get that turbo output just for a couple minutes there, but it is nice obviously having that turbo feature, really easy, accessible there with that double click. And then on this Perun 3 Mini, you do also have a couple red light modes. You just double click from off, and we'll see this is our red light mode here. We can hold it down, and that is an SOS mode. We'll let that kind of show here for a second. There's our SOS mode. And if we hold it down again, hold on, there we go, hold it down. There's our higher output red mode. And I'll demonstrate this out in the backyard here shortly. So we do have our 3 different red modes as well. And then I also should mention, if you want to engage the moonlight setting, all you're going to do is hold this down for about 2 seconds, and then we have our moonlight setting there, and that's 2 lumens, and you get up to, I believe it's 100 hours in the moonlight setting. And I'll demonstrate this again also outside. This moonlight setting is actually really nice. I use this one a lot as well, but this is where you are going to get that, right about 4 days of runtime on our moonlight setting. Now let's take a minute here too as well, just to kind of go over the beam here. Go ahead and just do this here on we're getting our high setting here. So you'll see, you have a nice soft edges on that beam, a lot of usable spill, and we'll obviously hit on this more here shortly. But there is like a nice little hot spot there that you can get out a little bit of range on it. Obviously not much. Again, this is a close to mid-range light. But it does a really good job as a short area floodlight. If you're using this, outside, or again, even inside, this works really well too. I mean, nice diffused hot spot. You get, again, a lot of usable spill. I was even working underneath my bathroom sink, installing a new faucet, and I was able to use this really easily. Again, a really nice little utility light. I mean, it's a really good way to describe this. Really the whole light, but the beam as well. It's just a good utility beam, and it's a good utility light. One other thing I did forget to mention, it does have a lockout mode as well. So if we hold this down for 3, it has to be off. If you hold it down for 3 seconds, it'll flash once, and then you'll see, so now when I push it, you'll see it stops as soon as I let off. So if it's in your pocket, you want to have it in your pocket so it's not going off on its own. You can do the lockout mode on it. So to get that back off, we just hold it for 3 seconds and you'll see it's back on. So on, off, and then I should be able to hold it, and now we're cycling through our modes again there. So nice that it does also come with that lockout mode feature. So again, we got a super compact light, got that nice magnetic tail, numerous hands-free options, which I think creates a ton of versatility. That really good flood beam, which again, we'll demonstrate that here shortly. And then of course, just with this being, again, so lightweight, if it is one that you're gonna be using, if you're gonna use the included headband a lot, again, I think this is just one of the awesome kind of features, just how easy you can flop to and from it being a headband light versus just a light that you're carrying or clipping on your body somehow. And I should also mention, I'm someone who I'm kind of prone to headaches sometimes with things around my head. I've never had any issues with this light being on my head, and I have used it up to a couple hours at a given time, no problem. So the headband, again, it's very simple. There's not much to it. Very simple, but nice and lightweight, and I've had no discomfort with it at all. And I've also done some evening jogs with this as well. So where my head's sweating a little bit, I'm still no complaints with this headband setup at all. Now we'll just kind of hit on a couple cons before we get this light outside in the yard and kind of show you what it can really produce. I think one little con, as with most Olights, you are going to have their proprietary battery system. So of course that means that you need you're not buying any other, it's not going to be charged or running off AA's or anything, but you are going to be charging off the Olight magnetic charging system, which, like I said in a lot of my videos, I like this system a lot. I know a lot of people would prefer just, standard USB-C charger because we all have those around the house, but I think it's really easy to just pop these in and charge them off this magnetic tail, as I'm trying to put it on the wrong end there. So I actually like this charging system. I think it's, it's easy. If you have an Olight, you probably have a bunch of these laying around anyways, but I think it's really nice. You don't have to take it apart and charge the actual battery. Like on some of my Ace beams, you can just pop this on the tail and you're good to go. But it is a single fuel option. You are, kind of stuck with Olight's battery on this one. It's not, you're not charging off AA's or anything like that. Another slight con would just be the UI. I think once you get the hang of the UI, it's really easy. It's pretty simple, I would say. But I did actually have to read the manual a little bit on this one. With most of my Olights, I don't have to, but I had to read it to kind of figure out how to engage in the lockout mode and the red light mode and stuff like that. So again, I think it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it, but there is a little slight learning curve with that UI. But once you got it, again, I think it's pretty easy to remember, kind of once you have it figured out there. But with that, let's go ahead and get the Perun 3 outside and we'll run it through a few nighttime tests. All right, guys, we are out in the backyard now. As you can see, it is dark. So we'll go ahead and run the Perun 3 Mini through just a couple little demonstrations here in the backyard. We'll start off with this first one here. I'm standing about 10 yards away from our vinyl fence here in the backyard. So we'll go ahead and just run through our settings here. So this is going to be our low setting. So you see it there on the vinyl fence. That's going about 10 out to about 15 yards there. And you'll see it right away. Very soft hot spot. A lot of usable spill, but very diffused center here. We'll go ahead and hold our button down to go to our medium setting. So this is going to be our medium setting. So we'll go ahead and hold our button down again. Now we are going to be in high there. Just see, pull my hand back a little bit. Just see that high. Lights up really nicely this whole side of the yard. No problem here in high. And if you look at our hotspot there on the fence, it really is pretty much just blends in there. It's very soft edges there on our hotspot once we're in that high setting. And we'll go ahead and jump to our turbo with a double click. So that's our turbo. That's our full 1250 lumens. See that lights up really, really well there. Get up there in the trees a little bit. Again, it lights up, pull the camera back, lights up this whole area. No problem, really good short area. Light here, a lot of good flood in this range. And I do want to go ahead and show also, I'm going to turn it off real quick. We will turn on the red light, just so you can see the red light out here in action as well. So go ahead and double click. So this is our red light here. I think this is going to be our lower of the two settings. So that's our one there. Yeah, we hold it there. Now we get our second red light setting. And then I will hold it again, and we should get our SOS here. Oops, there we go, yeah. Well, I had that wrong. Oh, sorry guys, let me get that back here. Boom, we're in the red, hold it down. A little hard doing this with one hand, but there we are in our our SOS setting. Hopefully the neighbors don't see it. Honestly, if they saw it, I don't think they know what the hell it means anyways, but this is going to be our SOS setting. Go ahead and tap that back in. Now we're off there. All right, now I just want to do one more little demonstration, kind of show the light, kind of shooting out a little bit further here to kind of, challenge it a little bit harder here. You'll see the bit in the middle of the screen, there's a vinyl fence that's going to meet a brick wall, and that's right about 35 yards away, 35, 40 yards away. And I'm going to go ahead and just pop this into our turbo setting, and we'll see kind of how it lights up this part of my backyard here. So we'll go ahead and turn it on, and we'll double click, and there we are in our turbo setting. So see where the vinyl meets that brick wall, kind of light the whole property there. And as you can see, again, I mean, for something this small to be able to light up this whole backyard this well, I mean, it really is an impressive amount of output for a light this small. Whole lot of good usable spill there. Again, you can walk around out here, no problem. You're gonna see everything in front of you, everything in that mid-range, really, really well. Now we'll go ahead and just throw it in. There's our low, just so you can kind of see the low trying to get out there as well. And there's our medium getting out there. I like the medium setting the most. That's the one I really seem to have on the most use on that medium setting. Really good kind of a balanced middle ground one there, and then we'll go ahead and down again, and that's our high. There's our high there as an airplane flies by. And then of course double click. Oops, sorry, there we go. Double click, and there is our turbo. Up on the trees there a little bit, just so you can see. Now, one last thing I did want to show as well, I do want to show the moonlight setting too, so I'm going to go ahead and just hold our light down here. So this is just going to be our moonlight setting. And I did want to show because I think it works really well. I surprised me, when I had this around our campsite, I was actually using the moonlight setting a lot, and it still works. As you can see, like if you're just doing, small little task around the campsite or something, just, a small area, close area, it really does light up well. Like you're able, that's again, moonlight, you can still see the fence out there, the light hitting the fence. So then we'll just also show that moonlight setting as well. It is a useful setting. It actually works really good indoors too. So just something to keep in mind as well. All right, we are back in the review garage, having just ran this Perun 3 Mini through a few outdoor tests. So hopefully you have a better idea kind of what the light is capable of, maybe some strengths and some weaknesses, and hopefully you can kind of tell if it's something that you think would be a good fit for you. But like I kind of mentioned earlier, again, I find myself just grabbing this light, like using it way more than I ever would have thought. I really got it with the intention of just having, like I thought I would use it in the headband, most of the time, but I didn't really understand how many times I just would grab this, just to use for little things around the house even. Like I said, just doing little tasks around the house. But also, I can take this light, clip it on my, bag when I'm going hiking, clip it on a shirt when I'm walking around doing anything. It's just, you just kind of, it's one of those lights where it's like, am I going to really use that? But then once you have it, it's like, holy crap, I use that light a lot. Like I use it a lot. So that's kind of how, at least for my experience with the Perun 3 Mini, is just, you kind of find more uses for it as you own it. This kind of pops up. It's like, oh, I'll just grab this light and use it for this. So then that's a really cool thing when you kind of own something and you end up using it more than you ever would have thought. So with that, the big reveal here, does the Olight Perun 3 Mini get the Review Garage sticker of approval? Super easy one. This is a easy yes. This is probably one of my favorite lights from Olight that I've reviewed and own. Now, like I said, I don't want to be beating a record here, but again, use it all the time. Super versatile, super easy to switch back and forth. A lot of different uses for this light. It's just a really good looking, handy light to own. So definitely Review Garage sticker of approval. Now this light does run, I don't think I even mentioned the price, it does run about $60 new, but if you're familiar with Olights, they do go on sale quite often, I think I just got this one a few weeks ago for around, I think it was right around 45 bucks. I think it was like 20% off or something like that. So they do go on sale pretty often, but even at full price, I do think this light is a really good value. Again, like I wouldn't have an issue with calling this, a $60 light. It's definitely worth $60 in my opinion. And I will have a link in my description if you're interested in purchasing the Perun 3 Mini. I certainly don't think you would regret it. I think the only thing would be is if you want, a lot more light out of it, then, you might want to step up to, again, the Perun 3. But I still think even with that, you would find quite a few purposes for this Perun 3 Mini as well. Like, I think even if you want one, in a perfect world, I'd probably own both of them. But I think this one is one of those ones that's just nice to have around no matter what. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Helps the channel a ton, helps me be able to keep making these videos. And I do have all sorts of these types of reviews on flashlights, gear, everyday carry bags, that sort of thing on my channel. So again, if you're interested in that, please like and subscribe. And as always, be on the lookout for more reviews from the Review Garage.